What's going on? Welcome to the next episode of Mavericks Living. Hey, just a disclaimer before you jump in here, there's a couple of things. Number one, this is going to be a little bit longer of a video, so treat it like a podcast. I promise you're going to want to stick around for what's inside. You're going to learn why gold is still one of the most superior financial security investments that you can make, and you're also going to hear an incredible testimony from Jeremy at the Gold Vault. And I know that the story is going to rock you. And other than that, there has been some difficulties in this video. So the audio, some of the audio that is used in there, I have to distort it so that it will not be subject to copyright claims. I don't understand copyright. I think that if someone wants to use somebody's song, they should be able to, because that means more exposure for the artist, but I don't make the rules. And I think these rules are extremely gay. So enjoy the episode, and I'll see you on the other side.
So when I came in on January 2nd to open the store, my safes were wide open. The display cases were all empty. Everything was gone. And it was the most surreal 180, like betrayal type thing I've ever experienced in my life. In that moment, I'm at zero all over again. I just thought, I need to live as Christ-like as possible, and I need to actually forgive this guy for what just happened.
All right, morning time. Woke up at 5:30 and got up, read the Bible, memorized a new verse, Psalm 23, and went on a walk with the Lord and prayed and practiced this verse. Other cool things happening today, connecting with people who are going to help the vision for my challenge app to come to fruition, and meeting up with some clients, doing some other things, buying some gold. It's gonna be a blast. So thanks for being here on Mavericks Living channel. Hopefully it inspires you to seek the Lord. Hopefully it inspires you to do something different, to go through the narrow gate, as Matthew 13:7, I believe. But going through the narrow gate, because the gate that is wide that everybody seeks leads to death, and those who find it are many, but those who find the narrow gate are few. So be that few and go out, do hard things, challenge yourself. Even if you don't want to, I can promise it is going to be for your greater benefit, and God will reward you because of it.
Back and forth, backslid into my patterns more. Vices looking like Ganondorf, red flag looking like Matador. Catch a case like it is mandatory, to my data story, traded to the source. Catch a chicken like it's cacciatore, had a talk with Tori, now we on a tour. Living water in my reservoir. After my trip to Leviticus, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't settle for Ritalin, all my attention was given to beasts. Yeah. Hey, son of a man, son in a mask. All of my shame and my lust in the bag. Crimson the color, blood in the flag.
Who took my depression? Where you put it at? It's over here, I just put it in the internet. Watching people break bread and made it to dinner yet. God gotta call me up off the similar. Long story short, I was trying to make a millisecond. Money can take control of you if you let it. Child of a king, still looking like a pest. Only 16 when the father had the adolescent to my life. Can't do trans, gotta be a man to my wife with two hands.
I was just about to call you right on the dot, but you're a minute early, man.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I love it.
I'm trying to behave and stay on top of it. I've been, there's so much craziness going on.
Yeah. Are you just getting craziness with all the gold and the fear and the blood in the streets, or what?
Oh yeah, well that's one of the big things that ends up happening over there anyway at the store, right?
Yeah.
This has been the bread and butter for a long time. Is number one, for the longest time, people have been really uncertain of what's been going on. So like one of the big drivers of the prices has been that we didn't renew our deal with Saudi Arabia, that they can only use US dollars.
Yeah.
So like when people go there to buy oil in the past, they would be like, yeah, only US dollars. And so that lapsed. And so all of a sudden gold and silver have just been going nuts because countries are just bailing on the dollar.
Like, I'm done supporting pedophiles from every angle.
Yeah, basically that's all I do. Is I put in enough money to the little credit union to pay whatever bills that need to come out on the plastic card.
Yep.
And the rest of it, Like, the more you can just get out of their system, the better.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. Like, again, it's not just supporting the pedophiles, but like everything that they do. Like, think of all of our dollars that go to different programs that none of us want or agree to. And
Right.
They're just doing it. They're raping America. It's like, I've told people for a long time, it's like, these people are sitting there with a shovel, like just shoveling cash as the building's burning down all around us Americans, and we don't realize it's burning down, and they're just like bailing. Like, these people don't care. They're going to be gone. These super elites, they've already built their big islands with bunkers and shit. Like, why are they doing that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, straight up. There it's literally I mean, I don't know what your faith background is, but it's absolutely biblical. It's been written and the writing's on the walls, and this shit is happening. So
how a lot of people are. They're really old school. They want to stay off of that radar, because the thing is, it gets even crazier if you look at the history of, like, again, like I was saying with the gold standard, and you keep rewinding and taking it back. Like FDR in 1934, he did this Executive Order 6102, which is basically banning gold bullion in the United States.
Whoa.
And it was like that for like almost 50 years. So Americans couldn't have it. So that's why the old generation is so sneaky about it. They don't want anybody else to know that they have it, period.
Mm-hmm.
And the federal government, they're fully capable of doing whatever they want, whenever, because they've done it before, right? History repeats. They could do it again. Like, it's crazy to get in with these guys. It was hard because in the beginning of my business, man, they were like, well, you got to show me you can move $1 million worth of stuff.
Oh, shit.
And now we do that regularly, like every single month.
On a day. That's why you got that gold-plated sig, man.
Exactly.
Let's go.
It goes with the style. When you come in, you'll see it. I got gold everything. I look like Mr. T.
Dude, I love it. You got a brand, and that's what makes you memorable to people. So I'm ready to get things going. I'm literally just precious metals and ammo, baby. Those are my bartering chips.
That's my big thing too. Yeah. You can come down. I'll give you like a whole breakdown so you can see all the different types. I always explain to everybody the pros and cons of all of it. I always want people to be fully educated so that when you are leaving, like you're super comfortable with what's all gone down. So
Heck yeah. I'm looking forward to coming in and start developing this relationship, man. I think what you're doing is amazing and powerful and very needed right now in today's world. Hey, go get your gold. Go get your gold from this guy here. He's the white Mr. T. And hopefully send you some more business, or at least people who are curious to have the conversation.
Yeah, exactly. People, and a lot of people, it's more than you think. It's more than you think right now. It's crazy. I've never seen this before in the business.
Heck yeah. All right, y'all, check it out. We made it. Got Jeremy here, Gold Vault. Hello. And Jeremy was just telling me about his powerful story about the Lord Jesus Christ. He's got a little bit of a testimony here.
I've got a major testimony.
Where are we gonna be? Yeah, not a little. No testimony is ever.
Exactly. They're never little, right?
Yeah. I don't see good, better, best. Just so you know, Jeremy, I am walking out with something now. Depending on your sales skills.
They're quite high. You'll be good.
Okay, cool.
You'll get something.
Yeah, do your thing. I'm in. I'm in already.
Do my thing.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about my strong testimony of Christ in getting this store going. This all started, it's always kind of funny, like when I tell people how I got into the gold business, it's a really crazy story. Yeah. It's been a roller coaster. Yeah. I always start with, I tell people I got a divorce, and I always like take my ring off, and I was like, so I went around to try and sell the ring. And everywhere I went was offering me like $20 or $40 for it. Like nothing. And I ended up in a little shop, and in this little shop, this guy, he's like, I'll give you $120 for it, and it's gonna melt for this, and I'm gonna make $40. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And at the time, I was helping him do some advertising online, and this kind of slowly grew into a thing where I was helping him full time. And he and I, we were really great together, and we grew that business, and it was really awesome. But when COVID happened, we kind of just like went our separate ways, because they made us close down our little store over there because of, you know, anything less than 600 feet, you couldn't operate. And so eventually it came back around where I had the idea, oh, well, I could do that. I helped him do that. I think I could make my own store and get it going. And to get this store going is where my testimony comes in, because it was an incredible challenge. Yeah. When I started this, And I had a friend of mine who I'd known for 25 years. And we went in together to get a store going, and it was actually over in Draper. I was gonna be, half owner of this. He and his dad were gonna be the other part owners of it. And the crazy thing is it's like, and we know this from scripture, right? Like, it's not the cliche like money is the root of all evil, but we see it in scripture again and again, where like the money exchangers and everything at the temple, right?
Yeah.
Like this stuff, it just causes problems, and they knew about it that long ago, right?
Yeah.
And so basically that whole relationship, a 25-year friendship, just went up in smoke in about a 6-month span. I mean, it was totally terrible. It ended up with lawyers. Everybody was feeling like the other person was, out to get the other in paranoia. Yeah. Just totally crazy. And so I just was like, nobody's going to stop me. I'm going to get a store going. And I came over here and I started a store. And this is where it takes a massive twist. So I had a very good client over in Draper who would come in all the time, and he was constantly, buying and selling with us, and he was a super cool dude, and we became friends right away through faith. I was raised in a Catholic school, and so I was going all the time. Catholic school is like you go like Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and I was an altar boy and all the fun things, like going up and reading in front of church all the time, and so he was fascinated by it. And we would talk about the Lord and all these good things that we could do and what we could manifest on this earth. And it was very uplifting to have somebody come into my life like that, who was really kind of like helping carry me and push me up toward a greater goal. And we were talking about like mutual things that we were going to do. Like this was a given. We were going to be able to do all these great things, all these blessings would come, and we would be able to give back to everybody. And it was going to be super cool. And so when I came over here after that falling out, he kept wanting to come visit my store, but I didn't really have a store. I couldn't really help him with anything. And so he actually started to help me over here a little bit financially, and I didn't want him to, because I just went through a mess like that. I was like, nope, let's not do that. But it's really hard when you're starting from scratch all over again and you're trying to chase something. So sometimes you give in to that, and I did. And so he had his people come and do a lot of the work in the store to get it set up, and he would bring some of his silver in, and we'd sell it, and he was living off of his silver and his gold. And he actually had been battling stage 4 cancer for a really long time, colon cancer. It was really incredible the amount of just energy that he still had even when going through all of that. It was amazing. It was the most, like, I joked with his kids, it's like, this is like, your dad's like Tony Robbins, right? We call him like the high-flying Hawaiian. He was just so much energy even though he was going through all that. So it was just really inspiring.
Was that a result of his faith, or was it like a...
Oh, it was his faith completely. Yeah, it was his faith. Yeah, he totally had just complete faith. He was not worried about the end, but he was committed. He was committed to his faith so much that he just knew. And I feel like in faith sometimes, and I tell people that when I started out this business to get where I am right now, a lot of other people come to me and they say, how do you get a business going? And I just tell them, you have to just go and fall on your face. Because that's what this whole story is. Yeah. Like, I'm just falling on my face over and over again. Because what happened was, this guy on New Year's Eve, he sent me a text. He's like, hey man, I'm looking forward to this coming year. We've done so well to get their store going. I'm so excited to see what the Lord has in store for us. So when I came in on January 2nd to open the store, my safes were wide open. The display cases were all empty. Everything was gone.
No way.
And I called the cops. I didn't know what was going on. And the cops get here and they're like, well, you got cameras everywhere. Let's see. So I was like, okay, let's see. And as soon as I turned it on and I saw what was happening, they're like, do you know that guy? I was like, yeah, I do. So that guy apparently had done that to numerous other businesses in the past. He had been on their paperwork, so maybe he was part owner or not with them when he did it. And it was the most surreal 180, like, betrayal type thing I've ever experienced in my life. And so in that moment, I'm at zero all over again. Nothing. I was very blessed. My father-in-law, he was into gold and silver, and I took the last of what I had at home, and I went and I sold it to him for $6,000. I took $3,000 to buy some more coins and stuff just to put out and be like, okay, I've got a business. This is what it looks like. And the other $3,000 was going to be how I was going to transact over the counter. And the overhead here is like over $3,000 anyway, right? So it's like, I'm going down. Like this isn't going to go.
To the wire.
To the wire. And it was just so strange because when that happens to you, it's going to be an emotional event.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was totally in shock. I was crying all the time. I could not figure out what happened. And, you know, anger comes. It's all these different stages of the emotions that are coming.
Yeah.
But I quickly realized the one thing that I kept falling back on, which is just the most simple story that's in the Bible, right, is when Jesus is in the garden and Judas is coming with the Romans. And he calls out to Judas and he calls out friend. He doesn't call out like, traitor, you're bringing them here. What are you doing, backstabber? And I really thought long and hard on the scriptures that I had learned. You know, I thought about, you know, Peter denying Jesus and Jesus forgiving Peter for that. And I truly feel that Jesus, you know, probably would have forgiven Judas even for what he did. But Judas didn't come for the forgiveness and ended up, you know, going insane. And, you know, so I just thought, I need to live as Christ-like as possible, and I need to actually forgive this guy for what just happened. And so I did, like completely in my heart, because I really, truly loved him. Like we would talk and text so much, like I truly felt like maybe his cancer battle had entered into a different stage and something had happened and threw him off. And ultimately he did succumb to the cancer last year. Yeah, so he actually did. He passed away, and you know, his family has come around, his wife has come around, and they're still benefiting from this store. But the only way they're still benefiting from the store is my faith that I had in Christ afterward. I would pray so much, and I would just say, you know, God, please let this store be a success, and you know that in my heart it is true that I will give back. Because that's what I love to do. I love to give back. I love to serve. And so,
amen, brother.
I love it. It's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
So, started the year with $6,000. $3,000 went in here. I had $3,000 to buy stuff over the counter. By the time we got to October, I was able to have a couple employees. I was able to adopt a family for a Secret Santa, where it was a single mother with a bunch of kids. I got the kids bicycles so they go to school. I got them clothes, blankets for all the family. I did a big, you know, donation to the women's shelter. I was able to get these Utah food banks, those big barrels, because there was all that crisis of are people going to eat or not. And we were just raising all this food and doing these huge donations. And I just knew, and that was my testimony that I had to share with everybody, is I just knew the only reason I got to the point to give back is because of my faith getting me to that point, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is it's like none of that was mine. You know, people are like, oh, that's all your stuff. This is all your stuff. This is not mine. It's truly, this is the Lord's. Like, the only reason I have it is because of his good graces.
I'm still recording that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all his good graces that I'm here, that I survived what I went through, and that we have, you know, all this kind of cool stuff here. We have the stuff.
Wow.
So with that, I have the ability to serve you today, sir.
Jeremy, I'm excited, man. I knew I was in for a surprise. I didn't know what it was going to be, but I mean, when I met you during the Everyday Carry course, I was like, there's something about this guy. He's got a light, and the fact that you like sponsored your, you know, employees to tiny but capable now women. Exactly. Like that was really cool. That was really cool to see.
Yeah.
And so like I just got a glimpse of your giving nature in that moment. So
well, and that's giving back for them too. You know, that's trying to empower them as young women.
Yeah.
And
because it goes beyond this too. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and to give them mentorship that a lot of times we don't end up seeing, we don't end up getting, you know, in our daily lives. We don't get, not all of us have somebody out there, right? who can help us get on to a good track in life.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't have to be rough. And I truly feel like on earth, when the times are rough and hard, or when you have self-doubt, like to me, that was a big revelation for me. It was huge last year because I kept trying to think about like the devil or the adversary. You know, different religions, they call them different things, right? Let me kill this for us. Let's do not disturb. There we go. So I kept thinking, like, how would this stuff happen, you know? Like, how would I get this betrayal from a friend of 25 years and this betrayal from somebody that I'm speaking about Christ with all the time? Like, how could this happen? And it dawned on me that that is the devil active on earth. I mean, I truly feel that he wants to keep everybody miserable and away from the light of Christ. And then that keeps you exactly where he wants you. He wants you to be isolated. He doesn't want you to have a group. He doesn't want you to reach out and meet new people.
Yes.
He doesn't want that bonding to happen through faith at all. You know, that's not the plan of the adversary, right? And so if you realize that and you realize, oh, that's what's going on out here, then everything else is true, like has to be true. Like everything in Christ and, you know, God and their want of you to have a good life is equally as true.
Yes.
Because we can see those other dark things happening. So we know that this other thing is there for us, and the one thing he asks is, it's the simplest of all time, you know, it's just, you have to follow me. You have to believe in me. And that's so simple, right?
Yeah.
It's so simple.
Yeah, man. That's the basis of how I've been living life recently. And it's been tough because, I mean, I'm 31 right now.
Yeah.
So since I was 16, 17, 18, mainly like 17, 18, I've had this incessant drive to just be like a successful entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But like anything and everything that I've ever tried, just like boom, flop, 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 flop.
That's okay.
And it's because like I've wanted it so that, oh, I can get this thing, or, you know, less selfishly but still selfish. Like I want to make sure that my mom never has to like work another day in her life or whatever the case. But it's all like this greed centric focus, you know, of like, oh, money and security and all this stuff, and faith has like been a very, very small part of that picture. But now it's like reversed, and I think some people probably think that I've like gone into the loony bin of like being absolutely crazy and whatever, but at the same time it's like, dude, I know what it felt like when I begged for Jesus to enter into my heart. He did that. And then everything changed, and I have like a mentor, a father, a consultant, all in one, you know, and it's been the coolest journey, and I just want to share that, and so I really appreciate you sharing your testimony, or at least a fraction of it. If there's more, then continue.
Oh, there is more. It'll blow your mind. I'm going to keep pulling stuff out.
Do
while I
thing.
keep
Can I
espousing my love for Christ.
Stuff?
Yes. So in my store, it is a very tactile business. You have to touch it. You have to feel it.
I mean,
you have to.
There's
you have
an
to hear
energy
it.
to this. Are you kidding me?
Silver has a very specific kind of audible sound to it.
Frequency to it.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, there you go. You got it right away. You got it right away.
Yeah, it's like a harmonic almost.
Yeah, like our change, our regular money, it doesn't do that, right?
Yeah.
So there's a car out there we can show people later. My dad, all of my life.
Is it the old school one?
Yeah, my dad, all of my life, he told me about a car that he had when he was young.
Yeah.
And when he was drafted to go to Vietnam, he went and he enlisted instead.
Yeah.
And the week after he left, his dad sold the car.
Instead of getting drafted, he went and enlisted. So he's like, "You're not telling me."
His draft number came up, and he knew he was going to go, and so he just went and joined up. He just enlisted.
Yeah. What a gangster.
Yeah. He's like, I guess this is going down. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
All right,
go.
anyway, so he sold his car.
No, his dad, my grandpa, sold it. A week after he left, he just went and sold the car. And then this was winding down. It was actually near the end of the war anyway. And so he ended up staying here stateside, but when he got home, the car was gone. So all my life, all I've ever heard about is a 1964 Oldsmobile F85 with a V8 330 engine, a 4-speed manual, dual exhaust, because it was the first year of the 442.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's all I've ever heard of. And I've always, in the back of my mind, thought, I would love to do that one day for my dad. Like, I'd really love to do that for him. And it's never been possible. Like, it's never been possible. There's no way I was ever going to get that car. Well, you know, if again, when you're living with so much doubt in your life and you're allowing that to enter and keep you from happiness and joy, I feel like you're just never going to achieve what you really want to in life. So I actually got that car in February. That's how well things have been going. And I took my dad out, my family to dinner. He had no idea. We went to a place.
No.
Yeah, we went to a place. The restaurant inside has all these cool cars, one of these local restaurants. And I was pointing at all the cars and I was like, hey, which car do you like? You know, which one do you want? And I was pointing, there's like this beautiful blue Porsche. I was like, that would be the one for me. And I told my kids, I said, ask Papa which car he wants here. And without skipping a beat, my dad goes, well, it's a 64 Oldsmobile, 330 V8.
That was before he saw it?
Yeah, he didn't know.
Yeah.
So I had parked it up front of the restaurant. I came in a little bit late
to
dinner. So it was parked up front and we walk out the door. This thing is a crowd pleaser.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there were people already stopped, either coming out of the restaurant or going in, taking pictures and looking at this car because it's beautiful. It's been fully restored. Like, it's incredible. Like, total ground up. Everything came off brand new. It looks like it's just from 1964. It's wild.
Wow.
And so I was like, Dad, is this like your car? And he's like, no. So I was like, oh no. He goes, mine was a hard top. So that was a convertible. Now, I knew his was a hard top too.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're walking around the car and I was like, well, are you sure? You know, this looks like an older Oldsmobile. And he's looking at it, he's like, yeah. And he's like, mine was red. And, you know, my son, he just goes and he just opens up the door and sits in it. My dad can't figure out what's going on now, right? Because that's kind of weird. And I was like, it's your car. And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, I'd take out the keys and I was like, Dad, I couldn't find a hardtop, so I bought you a convertible. And then there was tons of tears, you know, there was tons of hugs and happiness and love.
No way.
But that's a dream. Again, it's all a testament to my faith. Like, I just truly believe, like, that is something that I never thought would ever come true, ever. Wow. Like, I feel like a lot of people, you know, it's in every country song too. I got Dad's old truck, like whatever. Like, it's an Americana thing. Like, we're passionate about that history and it's
legacy,
family.
It's like passing the things down, which is something that we're losing by each generation. Like, people are just squabbling away their, you know, family's like core.
Exactly.
Dang.
And so I was able to deliver that for my dad, and that was pretty awesome. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
Whoa.
And guess what?
What?
A little piece of paint chipped off on the door. It's red underneath.
No shot. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so that's cool. It was like meant to be. It was incredible.
My mind is blown, man.
I would have never been in a position to do that. Like, even when I think about when that car was restored, it was back in 2016 that somebody did the full restoration on it to bring it back to life. And I think about where I was at that moment in my life in 2016, right? And to think all of these, like, this journey that we go through on this earth, right? Like, this was going to come to this point. Like, it felt like it was being done just for me, for my family, for this to come true in this moment. I mean, it was out there waiting for me to, again, you just have to have the most full faith. And boom, we did it. We did it.
Now we're here.
Now we're here. We did it.
Dang. What an inspiring story, Jeremy. Thank you for sharing that.
No problem. So let me give you, let's talk about the medals, shall we?
Let's do it, man. I'm hooked. I'm like a kid in a candy store. I never thought, like, I'd have people talk about precious metals and all that stuff. I'm like, oh, that's cool, yeah, precious metals. But now I'm like, all right, I'm in. I want all the juice.
Yeah. So in the precious metals business, it's important to remember that this is my disclaimer, it's not Wall Street. We're not going to the moon. We're not going to get this stuff and we're going to go to the moon. Now, what we are doing is we're preserving our purchasing power. We're giving ourselves security. that we don't always feel with these banks, right? Like they keep coming up on the news.
Yeah.
Maybe they're faltering, maybe they're collapsing. And then the returns with the banks, like you could leave a bunch of money in your savings account, but what happens? Like, I know for me, it's like quarterly, it's like, here's your 23 cents. Congratulations.
Yeah, I saw a sign. I just opened up a new bank account with a credit union.
Yeah.
So that I can mitigate risk with like
Exactly.
central banks and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's local and they're not doing any weird pedo crap.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, or you can go into our express savings account and it's 4.25 APY. And I was like, oh, well, that's cool. So, but inflation, and then you have basically inflation on every corner from fuel to food to water, energy, and all that stuff. I'm like, dude, I'm still getting a negative return.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, it's still a negative return. Well, so I'll give you an interesting one. I always tell this to customers that come in. There was a ticket to go see the Beatles. I think it was Madison Square Garden. It was in New York. Maybe it was the big one, at the Met Stadium. But it was $5 to get in and go see them. So gold back then was like 35 an ounce. We'll divide that by 5. So 7 is going to be our lucky number today, okay?
Yep.
So people now, there's a big miscommunication in the world of what inflation looks like for our dollars. So I'm hoping this will help set some of that straight and give people some things to think about. I've always heard this like 8 times thing. Like people always say, oh, it's 8 times different. So they look at that $5 and they say, oh, so the Beatles ticket today should be $40. And all these ticket servicing companies, they're just, raking us over the coals. They're just taking every dollar they can. They're just all greedy. And for me to go see the biggest bands in the world right now, it should be $40.
Yeah.
But the thing is, remember our lucky number, 7, right?
Yep.
So gold today is right around 4,700. Let's divide that by 7. 671. That looks like a really big number. But this is honestly about what I paid to go see Sabrina Carpenter for my daughter per ticket. Like it was that high to go see a really big act that comes in. So that same gold is actually retained its purchasing power to see the biggest musical acts when they come to town. It can still do that.
Yeah.
Whereas, if I just had my 40 US dollars, like I'm sorry, Sabrina, I'd have missed you. I wouldn't be able to go in and see that concert, right? Similarly, another one that I like to use is there's an example of, that Ford GT, that movie that they had. What was it? Christian Bale, Matt Damon.
Yeah.
That car, when it came out back then, was $18,500.
Yeah.
So if we just did their same math, we'll just times that by 8. They're saying today that car should be worth $150,000, right?
Yeah.
But we already know what our magical number is going to be, right? So if we were to take that 18,500 divided by 35, it would have taken 528 ounces of gold to buy that car back then.
Yeah.
So we'll just take that number and we'll times it by the 4,700 today. $2.5 million. That's what those cars actually go up for auction for. They are multi-million-dollar cars.
Whoa.
So the same amount of gold has retained the same purchasing power through all of those years. And you can kind of do these little fun things. Like I would always joke with people forever because they would say, oh, you used to be able to buy a loaf of bread with a dime. You bring me one of these dimes, I'll give you the $5. You walk over to the store and buy a loaf of bread.
Yeah. 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 Wow. Okay.
It still happens.
That's a really good perspective.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing here.
So
and
it's maintaining a relative value to what the world is doing. It's just consistent.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's important because our dollars are just losing all the time.
Yeah.
Goldbacks are a really, really good example of this. So let me grab let's see, here we go. Here's a 1 goldback. So I always kind of joke with people, it's like the mattress game at home, right? So let's say you took $4 US and you tucked them under your mattress and you put a goldback under there. Because not this past January, but about a year ago, January, so maybe about 18 months ago, that was $4 to get one of those. So you could have had a $4 goldback and $4 US under the mattress. You go back there today, look under the mattress, pull this out. This thing is now worth almost $10. That's what the exchange rate is on these.
Whoa.
But if you take your $4 US out from under the mattress, you just got $4.
Yeah, if that.
But think about how much has changed in that same time.
Yeah.
Think about all the craziness of fuel cost and everything, right? So this is kept up. This still buys the same amount of fuel. Your other $4, Maybe that used to get 2 gallons. Now it gets a gallon, right? It's like $4 at the pump now, right?
Yeah.
So it's another way to like tangibly view what is happening here.
Yeah.
And once people understand that, this becomes the greatest savings account you could ever have in your life.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's been incredibly rewarding for me and my family. And so that's what I want to share with everybody else, is that knowledge too.
Yeah, it's so constant, like doesn't go down. It's almost like what's the equivalent? And it's an indexed universal life insurance policy.
Yeah.
So when the market's going up, you're getting gains. You know,
Right.
what, 8 to 12% or whatever the case. But when the economy tanks, you have like this stop. I forget what the term is, but it's just you know, it doesn't go down.
And we see that in the charts when you look at gold and silver. If you go to put a 20-year chart, what you'll see is we'll have the 08 recession in there. And oftentimes I'll ask people, you know, I'll say, when was the last recession? I'll say 08. But they never say like 05. Because if you go back to 05, you'll see that silver is like $5 an ounce. But by the time we got to 08, it was at $20 an ounce. So indicators are always there. The metals were already moving. It was already saying something fishy is going on. And unfortunately, you know, we have the haves and have-nots in the world. Well, those that have, they know what's going on because they're the ones running it into the ground. So they're buying this stuff up.
Yeah.
You know, when the price of gold and silver goes up, it's central banks. It's like these big governments are going in and they're snatching it up. It's not that you came in and bought some and I go to a secret website and we punch it. Hey, run it up. I got some more. No, it's totally these big, huge financial institutions that are moving that indicator. And right now, gold and silver for the past almost 2 years now, maybe a little bit more, have been cruising. They have been on the move. Something serious is going down.
Yeah.
And it hasn't really hit yet. And that's what makes me nervous for everybody else out there. That's why I'm passionate about what I do, because it's like, be prepared, get ready. Something's coming here.
Yep.
All the indicators are there. Something is about to happen.
Yep.
And whether that's another, you hear all these, you know, people saying we're in another bubble. It could be another big financial bubble. You know, there's all these things, chaos around the world, right? Everybody's taking up arms against their brothers, like everywhere, right? There's a lot happening right now. And the best thing that I think that the average Joe American can do is follow the leader of these other people. JP Morgan is the biggest holder of silver in the world. Follow their lead and go ahead and get some for yourself. Protect yourself too. Because if they're going to do it, if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for us, right?
Exactly.
So here on this little pad, I've got a variety of silver for you. So this is my good, better, best pile. And I'll explain the different reasons why. Now it's all silver, so that's all great. You wanted to start with something and you want to get something. You don't want to not have, you know, anything, right? US dollars under the mattress, right? So this is what they call junk silver or 90% silver or constitutional silver. This is 1964 and older silver. And so today, it's fluctuating a little bit. I haven't checked it entirely, but we could roughly say this is about $5.50 per dime. And so your total per dollar is $55 per dollar worth of silver. So that's why I have them out like this. So really you have like, what, $27.50 per half dollar in value. And then up here we have what we call generic or privately minted. Every store you go to is going to call it something different, but it's just a 1 ounce round. You can get 1 ounce bars, but it's something that's privately minted. Now this stuff right now in the current market, anywhere you go, if they're asking for more than what it's going to melt for, just leave, because it's a buyer's market. So we're actually selling this stuff for a couple dollars under that melt value right now. So instead of the 55, we'd be at 53 per dollar. This stuff up here, I haven't looked today, but like yesterday it was around 75. So for instance, this would be like 73 per ounce to get it. Now, moving up, so that's our good. So we got better. Better is when we get into sovereign made something. So you'll tell when it's sovereign because we usually have a wonderful old lady on there or a nice old man. So one of these Commonwealth countries, somewhere else around the world, it could include South Africa. They make 1 ounce silver that are really nice. These are the ones where you're taking a step up. So you're going to pay more than whatever the silver price is. But why would you do that? Why would you pay a little bit more? Well, there's a couple factors with all these that a lot of people like. Number one, you're starting to enter into the realm of something that has a denomination. You know, this says $5. It's stamped with a year on it. So a lot of people like when it has a denomination as like a safety feature, or that a government made it. So they trust that more than a privately minted one. Now, when you go to sell them back, that's also a big benefit too, because this type of stuff right now, there's a reason we're selling it under spot. It's because then we're buying it really under spot when we get it in. The national refiners, when I checked yesterday, were as much as $7 under to buy this. So a store like myself, I can't just keep buying all the silver off the streets. I'd love to do it, right? If I had infinite money to do it. But I have to have big brothers. So if I have too much, I need to be able to send it to them. And if they're only going to pay me $7 under, then for me to make $1, I've got to be $8 under, right? Now, on this stuff, those same refiners are paying a lot higher. They might be anywhere from $2 to $4 under to buy it back. So even though you've paid a premium, when you go to sell it back right now in today's market, you should be getting a higher value back than just this stuff over here. So it's just something to think about. And then when we get to our best category, that's going to be the American Silver Eagle. So the American Silver Eagle.
I think I have one of those.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're awesome. They're a bullion coin. Happy to touch and play with it. It's a bullion coin made by the U.S. government. They started making them in 1986.
That's pretty.
They're amazing. I love them. It's after a, let's check my cool dish. Here we go. It's one that we've used before in the past too. So there's also this $50 that we had that great design on the front on. It's a different back, but it's the same front. Now, that one is the best right now because it's holding its ground when it comes to selling it back. Places are still offering maybe about $3 under for them on the buyback. But historically, the buyback on a Silver Eagle has always been above whatever spot price is. So that's really good. That's a great return. Now, you do pay more. So those today are about $4 over the spot price in our store. But this is another reason why you should check your local shops if you can and go to a local store, because the online retailers will be selling those for anywhere from $8 to $10 over the silver price. So that's kind of crazy. I mean, you save a lot by sticking to your local networks when you can. But this one is a really good value again when you go back to sell it. Now, oftentimes people get really stressed out when they come in and they see all of these options, because again, we've got bars, we've got gigantic, this is like a 10-ounce coin. And they get overwhelmed and then they just don't get anything. And the longer you wait to get started, the more it's kind of passing by. I know it's a crazy one.
That's nuts, man.
And so I just encourage people, get something, because as you get started and as you get going with your stacking journey, you're going to figure out what you really like. And then you can treat yourself to some one-off things. These are like our one-off things. You get these pieces of silver, that are a little bit more rare. These are some vintage ounces that we keep in here. Superman, right? Super cool. Something different. Superman. Or collectibles. We have a super rare penny. $1,200 penny. So as you get going on your journey, you'll find what you really are into, and then you can take some pieces home. I have a pocket full of coins that are just like special ones to me that I just keep. And so we have so many different options like that, but I just encourage everybody just to get started one way or the other.
Totally.
And then when it comes to gold, I do really like the gold backs. They're made here in Utah. Not everybody has that advantage of the access to them.
They're made in Utah?
Yep, they're made right here in Utah. There's a bunch of states that are doing them now. So over the last couple of years, they've added a lot more states to it. So they've added Florida and Oklahoma, Arizona, Idaho is on board. There was South Dakota, Wyoming, Nevada, New Hampshire, Utah. Utah's actually getting a refresh on their artwork right now.
Nice.
But again, the reason I really like these is an ounce of gold is almost $5,000. And so for the average person out there, like that's a really big ask. Like, we don't all have 5,000 just laying around, just be like, I'm going to get an ounce of gold. But what's cool about these is you get that effect of gold. So as gold is going up, like we talked about, this went from $4 to almost $10 today. You get that effect and the value of it going up, but you can afford to do this because we just sell them for the exchange rate itself. So whatever it says, if it's $9.50, that's what we have them for our customers for. Now, how do you get that other coinage of gold? After you've come in and budgeted and you're doing a little bit of this stuff, you can actually bring these to our store. And in Utah, there's, I think it's almost 1,000 places where you can go and spend these like currency. You know, there's like Tunex, Ace Hardware, a bunch of different places will accept these as currency. So you come in here and we just do that exchange rate toward a purchase of a coin or a little gold bar or whatever. So now all of a sudden you're achieving a goal by the little baby steps of getting into it, taking advantage of the growth of it. Because you do want both. I always encourage people, get both, get some silver, get some gold. They both, I call them sister metals, they kind of cruise together. I'm not a huge believer in platinum. It's an opportunity with platinum. But historically, if you look at a 20-year chart for gold and silver, they're going to follow each other with their little hills and valleys. Platinum's going to look like this. So it's kind of a crazy metal.
Dang, this is cool. I'm definitely interested. So how much would like this guy be right now?
Let's pull it up here. Let's check the charts.
Because I'm definitely walking out with something today.
Let's check the chart today. Let's see if it's a good day. So currently, it's showing the silver price at $72.97. So it would be $4 over. So we would just say that one's going to be 77 for one of the silver eagles. And then these guys would be $2 over. And then this stuff right here, knowing that price now, this is basically going to be 71 for that generic stuff. So that's kind of your spread, 71 to 77.
Okay, how much is this guy?
This guy's pretty cool. It's a 10 ounce. We would do that one right at that 73, so it'd be $730.
Dang. All right.
And then in this business, I must let everybody know, anywhere you go to these kind of stores, cash is king. Because we all have to pay those fees. So.
And so when you say cash is king, what kind of... Oh, here's a question that I had on the drive over here. Why do... Okay, we're recording here. Okay. Why do you trade fake money for real money?
Fake money for real money.
Yeah, fiat, right?
It is, it's fiat. So the US dollar is really interesting. This is another thing. We're going a slight side tangent. So it used to be backed by gold, right? Everybody knows, oh, we had the gold standard and then it ended. And then they think that was the end of it. You know, that was the end. But that wasn't the end. So Nixon, who took us off, actually went to Saudi Arabia and made an arrangement, and that was the beginning of what we called petrocurrency, or the petrodollar. Yeah, and so for the longest time, Saudi Arabia had to accept US dollars as part of this arrangement. So if anybody showed up and said, we want to buy oil, no matter what country they're coming from, they had to pay in US dollars. Well, that actually ended a couple years ago. So that's part of the reason we're having this big rise right now. And you can see it in the news.
Like the petrodollar ended.
Anybody can go out there and search Saudi Arabia accepting new currencies, and you'll see that they accept all the money from India, China, like all these other random countries now. So the US dollar is not needed as much as a reserve currency right now. So that's kind of scary, and I think that's kind of leading to a little bit of the instability that we're seeing with the dollar in general right now, because historically, it's always had something, whether that was the gold or now, you know, the petrodollar. Now we've got, what do we got? What's backing it? Hopes and dreams, right? Hopes and dreams.
Faith.
And so for me, I do exchange in and out of fiat currency, but I do it at such a rapid pace, like it's truly unbelievable for people. Somebody could come in and they could sell me an ounce of gold or 3 ounces of gold, anything like that, and it will just be sold within a half hour to an hour. I'm back out of it again. I could go in and out in the metals business because it can be volatile when you're on my end of it. And it could be good. You know, some people say all the time, like, well, why don't you just hold on to more of it and wait for the price to go back up? that could be good, but then it loses the liquidity of the function of the business. So I look at the green stuff, fiat currency, is just the grease.
Yeah.
It's just the grease in the machine that I have as a business to keep growing the
Got
business larger.
Got
Because it allows me to just purchase more of the assets that I do like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, for instance, we'll do simple terms. Let's say something is $10. So I buy it from the public for 8, I sell it for 10. So now I have $10 to spend. So the next time somebody comes in with $12 or $14 worth of stuff, if I can buy it for 10, now I have $12 or $14 worth of stuff. So that's how I turn that $3,000 into that car.
Yeah. Back to the car, full circle. Man, we gotta go see that thing after this.
Yeah, we'll go check it
Okay,
out.
so I'm interested. Now, when you say you have people come in, they sell their gold, and then it just flies off the shelf. Is there anything, like, am I missing out on that? Do I need to, like, save some of my cash and then be like, all right, Jeremy, when you got something good, call me and I'm going to come in and grab it? Or
Yeah,
is it just like,
so a lot of people do that. So they'll leave their information. We'll watch out for stuff. We have a big list going in the back and we'll let people know.
Yeah.
Or if we ever end up with excess. So let's say we do a really big buy from the general public and we have just a ton of, like, even silver eagles sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes if we have too many, we'll hit the general public first and we'll just be like, all right, we've got silver eagles for $1 or $2 over spot.
Yeah.
Come and get them.
Yeah.
And they get right out of here. They're just gone right away. But if we know that you're looking for something, we'll just message you first and foremost and be like, hey, it came in, come and grab it.
Okay. And so that would come down to my own research and desire of, like, hey, I really want this. It's not that it's any more valuable than any other thing. It's just like...
Well, in gold, similarly, we don't have any of the examples of it sitting out in the case right now because it is pretty high valuable and it does go off the shelf. So gold is definitely a huge mover off the shelf right now.
Yeah.
But it comes in bar form, right?
Have any.
It comes in coin form.
Yeah.
And those coins can be sovereign as well, or U.S. And when it comes in those forms too, it's kind of the same thing of good, better, best.
Yeah.
You know, when it moves back out the door.
Yeah.
But if we don't ever have exactly what you're looking for either, we actually have access to the nation's biggest wholesaler. So the pricing when we order something in is awesome. It's going to beat all of the online dealers because it's actually like one big club. They all just use the same kind of like wholesalers and middlemen to order their stuff in. Yeah.
Okay, so no gold in shop today.
There's probably just a few pieces in here. It's like 1/10 of an ounce, it looks like, of a gold eagles. That's the U.S. one.
Yeah.
Super cool. It's kind of crazy though, right? You're holding $500 in that one little coin versus how many of these would we need to get to that same value, right?
Smokes. That's, dude, I don't know if I would trust myself with this.
I know. Don't disappear. Don't roll away.
You know.
And then we always get odds and ends, kind of cool things like this.
This
So
is cool.
that was a pretty popular Caster's Gold Chase.
Yeah.
So most of these chase items are usually silver or something else. They're all really cool.
8.7 grams of gold. How much
Yeah,
is that?
24 karat.
24 karat.
Yeah, 24 karat. So if we were to do just the gold value in that,
I might actually.
times
Depending
8.7,
on what it costs.
that one's over 1,300 just for the gold value.
1,300 for the gold value.
Yeah.
This is really cool. And I like guns.
Yeah, it's 2 for 1 there.
Okay.
So yeah, there's little bits of gold in option. We have silver. And that's where it gets really interesting too, because it's like your 10 ounce earlier, right? So this is like $730.
Yeah.
And this is like 500.
Yeah. Dang. That's wild.
So that's something to think about too when you're stacking, or when people at home, if they start to stack. And I've thought about this too. It's like, okay, if you had to grab your stuff and go, gold sometimes is pretty easy to grab and go.
Yeah.
Silver would be, even if you load up an ammo can, is probably going to be like 30 or 40 pounds.
Yeah.
And, you know, it might be about, it'll probably be pretty good. It'll probably be about 30 or 40,000 worth of silver in an ammo can.
Yeah. But this is like...
Yeah, you could have 5 or 6 of those.
Transporting gold, this is why Bitcoin, because transporting gold was so heavy and inconvenient. It's like, Well, imagine if
lot of
it's so
value.
heavy and inconvenient, and this is $500.
Exactly.
Like, you're a trillionaire.
Right. Well, the one thing that, so when it comes to the cryptocurrencies, I guess I'm a little bit biased toward the metals, of course, because I'm in this industry.
Yeah.
But knowing the history of the metals, so at different points in history, so in 1934, there was an executive order by FDR, I believe it was 6102, actually banned the hoarding of gold bullion in the United States.
Really?
So in other words, they didn't want regular Americans to have gold.
Of course.
Yeah, and that didn't end until the 70s.
Yeah.
And so for a long time, we couldn't have it. And that's why we had all these generations of people that had gone through the Great Depression and multiple world wars, right?
Yeah.
Seeing what was going on. And we end up with coffee cans of like change, you know?
Yeah.
Or we end up with a little stash of little old gold coins that they've hidden away like that, the US currency. Because they just haven't had a lot of faith in the federal government.
Right.
And so going back to the crypto, the thing that concerns me about it is I feel like that could be one, and I could be way off, but that they could say the cartels are using this, so we're banning it.
Yeah.
So that stresses me out.
Yeah.
That worries me. Or like when you see these reports of like they can only do so many transactions a second or a minute, and then they're all in competition over who can do more transactions. Or you get these things that happen, unfortunately, all the time, where you have somebody who pops up a new coin and yank, rug pulls people.
Yeah.
You know, the same people that were believing in who they were going to, believing in them, would have been better off to come and, you know, spend $700 here. They still would have had their $700. They can touch it. They can hold it. You can look at, that's a nice looking bird.
Yeah. Yeah. Dang. And I agree. That's why I'm like,
And it's a tangible asset. It's like land. It really is.
yeah. So what about, is this thing pretty delicate? Like,
Gold is so soft. 24 karat is so soft. You can probably see it. I don't want to. I
do
don't want to
I-
ruin it for you.
how do I maintain?
But
Yeah,
do you
just-
see that?
Yeah, I just bent. So
There
I have
you
to
go.
keep it really precious. And
Yeah,
like,
24 karat is very soft. It's very soft. And that's why some of these other bullion coins, you'll see this is a little bit of an off color. I know it's hard to kind of see the difference right there, but I actually have another example here. Let's grab let's see, where are you, St. Christopher? So this is 24 karat as well, versus just the color of normal jewelry, right? So they alloy the jewelry or some of the coins to put in some additional metals just so that they're more durable.
Yeah.
So that they're not bending that easily.
Could you give me a gold cross?
Yeah.
Dude, I want like those types of things. I think this is really cool for a collector's piece. How
Right.
often do you get stuff like this in?
Super rare. Those are always one-offs. Even for that guy, I think that chase that he did, I think he made 5 of them maybe in gold like that.
Yeah.
And then that was it. Oh yeah, right there. Number 3 of 5.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I think I want to do this.
Yeah, that one's super cool.
And this guy.
You got it.
So what, 1800 bucks?
Yep.
Or
1800.
13? And then probably, how much was this one? 77?
Yep, and those do come in a tube. I can grab a tube out of the back so you can see it.
Yeah.
And the tube is kind of where you want to set your goal, even if you're just starting out, because it's kind of like an achievable thing.
Yeah.
Let me grab one and I'll show
I
you.
want to see, dude. I want to stack this stuff. Come on.
As you get going and you're stacking, I often think about bartering, and I want everybody to know bartering is alive and well.
Yeah.
It's totally alive and well.
Yeah.
You know, I ask people all the time, you know, cash, credit, or silver, you know, when I'm doing any kind of trades and I'm meeting people in the general public. And it is a maybe shocking number of people that actually do want the silver. I'd say that's probably like 30 or 40% of the time people will just be like, I'll take the silver.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
cool.
I've traded for all sorts of stuff like that.
Okay, so I see some other cool pieces here.
Which other ones?
I like the silver ounces, the little rectangular. Those are cool.
Let's pull them out. Again, this is a very tangible game. You gotta touch and play with them all.
Yeah. I definitely want like a gold backer too, just so I...
Gotta do those. You want to throw them in your pocket. I know they're beautiful. The artwork is beautiful.
Yeah.
But get out and spend it. Find a place that you can spend it. You just go to goldback.com.
Yeah. Look
on there, and you're gonna see it's incredible. The whole country is just covered in locations that will accept them. Wow. This movement is occurring. It's occurring right now for sure.
I don't know if I want anything with Trump on it.
What's funny is most of the time the Trump ones are fake.
Wow. Okay.
Temu makes a lot of fake Trump stuff.
Fake Trumps?
Yeah. But if it's in here and we're selling it, we have tested it and it is authentic from wherever it came from.
Yeah.
And we do get some really old stuff. We get some biblical stuff.
Anything biblical, like keep me on the list for. If you get
we've got
gold
some crazy
crosses,
ones.
If you get whatever.
Well, we'll bring you back in. We'll do another episode, and I'll get the ancient stuff out.
Let's do it. I'm hooked. I'm already ready to do it. On goldbacks.
Dime coins. Yeah, you didn't have your goldbacks yet. Let's do that.
Let's do goldbacks.
So goldbacks. So the way they work is it's $9 per one.
Per $1.
So if you see that one with the little pirate, she's got a 5 in the corner, so it'd just be 9 times 5, so that'd be 45 to get that one. Or the 2 would be 18. Mm-hmm. So you could do any kind of variety. I like to keep a variety out here, but I can pull more out of the back. Like if you want a bunch of the half gold backs. There's more of the Utah ones. So these will be retired and refreshed this year.
Yeah.
So they will have new artwork, which is really cool. I do have a limited number of the Idaho. They are just that new.
Original Utah.
The 50, the 25, the 10, and the 5. So these are all getting a refresh this year, and it's going to be so awesome. They would kill me if I told you, because they said I'm not allowed to tell. But it is going to be.
It's going on a channel.
It's going to be beautiful. No, I'm not going to tell you guys. I'm just going to hype you guys. What they are doing for the Utah Goldback artwork this year is going to be amazing. It's going to be the best yet. It's going to be the best yet.
I definitely want a Utah one.
Got the Utah one.
Utah one. What else do we?
Let's see. We got an Arizona too.
Ooh.
She's running the river.
Oh yeah, she's kind of cute too.
You'll find no shortage of beautiful artwork here.
Yeah, this is the type of woman that I want.
One that can run the river, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go.
I knew I wanted to do this for a long time, and I know I've already like missed a lot of the boat, but I don't want to miss any more of the boat.
Right. Well, and that's the thing too, is it's like.
And if I hold on to it for a longer time too, the world's gonna get crazier.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it is. Well, and I worry too that when you look at, how history tends to repeat itself a lot of times, right? It's like, what's really going on out there?
23, if you want to count it.
23.
And then.
Got it. I owe you some change.
Okay. I'm excited to see what new. Now I'm going to be all doing research and.
I know. That's how.
Which usually it's like, okay, do your research before you go in, but I don't.
Right.
I know I'm not getting a veil pulled over my eyes.
No. Yeah. There you go, sir.
Sweet.
Got 27 is your change.
27 in fiat.
In the make-believe money.
Make-believe money.
Boom.
Sweet.
That easy.
Let's go. This is a come up. I got the rifle.
Oh, it's huge. You got a really good selection. Really good selection.
I'm super stoked. Cool, man. Can we go check out the car?
Yeah, let's go check it out.
Let's see it. Dang. The Cutlass, man.
Cutlass F85.
Wow.
442.
Wow. Right on brand.
I know, it's perfect, right?
Where's the paint chip? I gotta see that.
Where else would it be? Right there.
Wow.
It was meant to be.
Man, you don't even have a... Wow, the interior is ridiculous.
It was all meant to be.
4-speed manual. That smell, man.
I know, it's that vintage. It's the fine wine of fuel.
And what is this little fluid down there?
Yeah. This is like their little windshield fluid that they had a bottle of it in here.
Dang.
I think they used to have like a little tube,
Yeah.
you know, with a cap that you just put in, and then the tube would be down in there,
Wow.
and you just run the line. This is actually, it looks like it's an old one, but that's actually digital.
Oh, shoot.
So it's really cool.
God, it sounds so good.
Gotta have the old tune.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Should we go around the block real quick?
Let's do it. What the heck? Yeah. Long, cool woman.
It's perfect. You're gonna have a hard time finding a seatbelt in
Because
this
there
one.
is none.
Not in this year.
Amazing. Oh, come on. I'm getting high on gas fumes. This is amazing.
I know.
Dang.
That's why you got the convertible, so you can hide all the gas.
Yeah, you crack the window down, you just pop these little... They don't
Yeah.
do these little windows anymore.
No, they don't.
But you don't smoke as much, I guess. What a treat, man.
This is the one of the original muscle cars from back in the day. Pontiac came out with the GTO in '64,
Yeah.
and then Oldsmobile said, "Wait a minute, I've got an idea.
Yeah.
I know what we could do."
A little bit of a rush driving without a seatbelt in this guy.
It's interesting when you have the top down. And the top works. It's a power top.
Did you show up to the shooting in this?
No, I took my everyday Suburban to that.
When do you drive this one?
Whenever it's sunny out.
Yeah. Being able to exchange stories with you and hear your testimony. I've been wondering what the channel is going to look like.
Right.
And I started vlogging a little bit because I have a videographer, but it's very high production. I can't emulate that. And so I've been filming a lot of my own stuff, day in the life, whatever, and then coming in and getting to hear your story. It's like there's more of a raw, real, unproduced, you know, like just feel about it. And yeah, I was listening to your story, I was inspired. I'm like, man, everyone that I meet, if I just keep living purposefully, God's gonna put the right people in my life who have, you know, strengthened faith,
Right.
and that connection is just like there's going to be no accidents,
Right.
in those connections, and I feel like this is one of those moments.
Oh, for sure.
Which is really cool.
Well, and I think everybody out there, they need to experience that as well, so that they know they're not alone.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think so much of the way that our world is being set up right now is to keep us alone. You know what I mean? To keep you isolated.
Isolation, COVID-19, social media.
Exactly. It's built to keep you. And even if we weren't, like when we think about it, I don't want to use the word tribal, but you could, because there's like the tribes of Israel, there's all these different things. But when you think about it, humans by nature, we need each other. We need community. And that's reinforced through faith as well. All that scripture, all that teaching, what it is constantly telling you about your neighbors and how to watch out and serve for each other, right? That's all community-based faith.
It's funny you say that. I literally just acquired a rental unit it's right next to a wellness center.
Yeah.
And basically, like, in order to pay for the rent, I need a space. I was looking at getting like an office space so I could just get out of my home and in the world a little bit more and meet and talk to people. Because I can do everything from at home behind my computer. It's just not very fulfilling.
No.
So, and I'm paying half of what she was going to charge anyone else. And so I'm basically just going to sell alkaline water, like a membership to come in and fill up your alkaline water every month, whatever. Keep it very simple and focused, but there's a high school right next door. And if I can find a way to network and like get these young high school men out of, whatever matrix their minds are living in, just have them do a really hard workout. There's a sauna. I think she's putting a cold plunge in there. But get them to do like something really hard, and then we just go into a Bible study.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like if you need some extra help with that, I'm willing to come over and help and give them the same kind of testimony, or give them that mentorship to where it's like things are possible.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of times we run into that wall and we don't feel like things are possible.
Yeah.
But by nature, we're meant to have more confidence.
Yeah.
And you can get that confidence through Bible study, through Scripture. You can find what you need, but you have to crack the book.
Yeah.
You have to crack the book.
Gotta get in there. Those Bible apps, no bueno. It's good to have a Bible on your iPhone, right, for quick reference.
Yeah.
But it's not the living, breathing word.
No.
My personal opinion, anyway.
And the cool thing about it, too, is it's self-serving in the sense that I've never gone and done service and thought afterward, that sucked.
Yeah.
Like you always
waste
feel
of time.
great.
Yeah.
You always feel so good.
Exactly.
So it's always self-serving. It's always a win for you as well when you're doing service.
Yes. I couldn't agree more. And I had this like resistance a little bit, but then it faded away really quick because it's like, an extra $1,000 a month, and I'm gonna have to buy, furniture and shelves and all this stuff.
Right.
But putting something together and just being there and being about the community.
Right.
Yeah, I think God's gonna return something tenfold, or not monetarily, but definitely spiritually, and that's really exciting. I wasn't expecting to get what I got out of this.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy that I made the time and you opened up your shop early and just like gave me the full rundown.
Well, that's the biggest thing. There's always something that we can always be learning every day.
Yep.
So that changes all the time, even in that business. Some of the things that we're talking about today as the markets change and volatility increases around the world, I mean, it's going to change.
Yeah.
And so just being able to have a place that you can go to, and especially once you build that relationship, you get that trust and okay, this person's trying to help me and educate me, I think is the most important. Because a lot of places when you go into, if they're trying to sell you something, that's not a great feeling, right?
Yeah. That's kind of, it's funny you say that. Not funny. Everything's like clicking right now. I was in sales for a long time, and it was always when I wasn't trying to sell somebody, they were like, yes.
Right.
And it was like education. But if I tried the sneaky little tactics or whatever, I don't know how guys go off and get so rich, and they're just like,
just with those tactics,
doing the tactics and the strategies, and like I get it, and I've implemented some of those stuff, and it's worked to a degree. But if I try to go full in and I pay for a sales course and I do all the tactics, like it just doesn't work for me.
Right. Yeah, it's the same with me. I did sales for a really long time, and it led to me even doing some really high-level customer support and escalation support, because I could creatively come up with a way to solve somebody's problem, after they made a purchase and they weren't really confident in what they had just done, by just educating them and helping them use their product.
Yeah.
And having the empowerment to help people. And so even here, that's one of the big things I try and do, is I just want to help people.
Yeah.
And so I let everybody know what they have when they come in, because it's great business for me. Because what happens if they go and they shop anywhere else, which is what you should do. You should go shop around.
Yeah.
They're just going to be like, oh, he told me the truth.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go right back over there, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's good business. Out of
their shop and come back into yours.
Yeah, exactly.
Heck yeah.
So it's good business.
Jeremy.
Thank you, sir.
Man.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for the ride. I wasn't expecting that. And oh, what a cool door handle setup.
I know. The whole thing. Got to ride in the first 442.
Sweet. Well, cool if I bring it in with a hug, man.
Yeah.
Dude, thank you so much.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, I really appreciate all the guidance, and yeah, I'm looking forward to building the relationship.
I think it'll be good.
Well, there you have it. Thanks for tuning in. I'm so excited that you got to experience Jeremy's testimony and hopefully learned a little bit more about what it could mean for you to obtain these precious metals. I'm hooked, I'm in, I'm locked in, and I am officially, allegedly, a precious metal owner. But don't ever come after me, because I've got guns and I know how to fight. So with that being said, like, subscribe, comment, anything helps out this brand new young channel. I am so grateful for it, and if it's not you who does that, somebody else will, but it might as well be you. You know what I mean? Great things coming down the pipe, more action-packed content, more testimonies, more everything. And this episode personally was a beast to try and get across the finish line, between soul crushing, upload speeds, losing media, getting hit with copyrights, all the things. So I'm just glad that it's done, and I'm excited that I'm one more video in and getting better every single time, and really mostly just for the consistency element. So thank you. I self-fund this whole channel. If you want to be a sponsor, you can purchase a water filtration machine. Reach out to me at iamchandlerscott, and you can go in the link in the description, buy a water filtration